Yeah, Matthew, I'm very happy that you said yes to the interview, and I would like to give you the opportunity to introduce yourself and the company shortly, and then I have a few questions, and I would love to hear your opinion about that.
Phenomenal, yes. Thank you for having me. My name's Dr. Matthew Dickinson. I'm predominantly been a university lecturer, and now I'm created a spin-out company which is moving into development of exoskeletons, predominantly focused within the prevention market.
Maybe you can tell us a bit about what is the vision for the company, what was the idea behind that, and what do you guys think, what you want to tackle in the next few years?
So, over the next few years, because we are focusing within the preventative areas, we're really wanting to be able to provide more for a user. So we're wanting to be able to give more for someone to be able to do more work. However, for them to spend less within that effort. So pushing the human body that little bit extra, but without it a cost of their own health in that process.
Understood. And is that something that because when I talk to the other guys, it's always is there a big push? We have this technology and we would like people to use it, or is that we built that because we saw there is a huge demand?
It's an interesting question, just because within the exoskeleton community, what's incredibly important is that you don't try to make an exoskeleton and then make it fit the problem. What you want to do is focus around what that solution is going to be. So why are you actually delivering what it is that you're doing? And then start to take the expertise within our community, within our team, for example, to ensure that when we address these problems, we give it the correct solution for the task at hand. So this is where the problems really come in from industry, where they're saying, we need this for A, B, and C.
I've seen a few solutions, and I've been personally involved in one. And as you said, the setting was a different one. It was more in logistics, versus you guys are really focusing on because in logistics the adoption of robotics is quite fast.
Yes.
Because the surroundings is less people. So yours is much more challenging.
Yes, much more. So what we're predominantly focused with here is we're offering a way for humans to put these things on, but there's so many challenges that you hit along the way. Any exoskeleton company will know getting this to fit, sensing the way it's going to be. Is the system going to be an active exoskeleton? Is it going to be passive? And there's just so many questions to be answered in between that point. And we believe that we are one of the first markets to actually provide that as a solution.
We were talking about teams earlier on, just 2 seconds ago, and now maybe is that because of that?
This moves quite nicely into there, just because when we're considering the team that we have, rather than just sitting in a single pocket of electronics, mechanical, we're now engineering, we have biomechanicists that are working with us, we have key, even the psychology of when you're thinking about cognitively, how sound do you feel to be wearing this? Because obviously, mentally, if you don't feel safe within what you're wearing, this could predominantly have a knock-on effect of its ability to provide you with safe and a good performance overall. So there's just so much to be considered, and that's where humanoids to machines to exoskeletons really overlaps, because it's all the same principle of how do we perceive it.
How's the adoption with the people using that? Because I do know that, like I said from earlier experiences, that there's kind of like two groups. One is really embracing that, and the other ones are not. How do you guys face that?
So it's very much still in that same phase. The key areas that we've been really targeting is the done off. So putting this equipment on. Predominantly at the moment, taking time to put these things on. The big questions that arise from people is, if I've got a job that's going to take me 5 minutes to complete this task, why do I put on an exoskeleton that's going to add an extra 5 minutes? What we're trying to focus on is the way to actually put this on quickly and take this off quickly. And that's one of the key elements for adoption within itself. And also, does the user feel that actually the difference? Is there a benefit towards it? And lots of work already show users are happy with once it's actually on, but it's getting it on that's the key thing.
And you said that you have a biomechanicist, so that means like really understanding how the body moves and where's the weak parts, where the strength parts, what are the parts that are during work get sore very easily. So really taking all those things into account, you do need to be very close to the customer.
Yes.
End customer,
yes.
not the one who is making the decision if you're buying this, because
yes.
this is a commercial decision
exactly.
that you need to show. But really, as you said, the adoption part. how hard was it for you to get into that space and really talking to end customers, and how was that for you guys?
So what we decided to do was to adopt, and this sounds silly, but we decided to adopt the way that we would buy a suit. If you were to go to fit for a suit, you'd be fitted, and it'd be a low-cost material that's used to ensure that that's fitting to actually suit the solution. Then once you're happy with it, you'll then move to the next phase where an expensive suit is purchased. Now what we're doing is very much the same principle process. We're actually using already pre-designed designs which we know work for the body. We then scan the user's body and ensure that our geometric points hit the correct position for the exoskeleton. Then we produce low cost. This is a 6-week period. This is a low cost solution, so user can get a feel of, is it going to do what they want it to? And then once they're happy, we move to the next phase with that. But what we can do is it means that we can provide batch on a large scale because of how we're approaching this.
Is that something that you, because we were talking earlier about logistics or hospitality, the adoption and the industry are totally different. What made you choose that path?
It's to do with if you look at the market at the moment, there is the big thing for the next generation of exoskeletons is going to sit on consumer, but the trouble is that adoption process. And when we're considering this on a bigger scale, if you look at construction, I should say from manufacturing through to defence, it's where all the biggest income as far as support for the development of this goes. I personally would prefer that this sat within the rehabilitation community, but there's a lot of work to be done before we get to that position. And that's what, as a company, we hope to be in the future, where we can provide this development, this grown technology, and push it back into the rehabilitation communities for that reason.
How big is the team at the moment?
At the minute, we're a team of 5.
And is there something, because I'm always asking about what's next for you guys, and is there something I need to look out for you guys? Is there a raising, or is there a big announcement with a customer, the deployment? Is there anything you could share with us?
The couple of things I can share is that we're getting ready to deploy one of our first exoskeletons within an aerospace manufacturing environment.
Nice.
And we're also going to be pushing out for a big deploy for support into the next phases, because to give you an idea, we have 3 exoskeletons. We have one at a technology ready level 5, and then the one that's going into aerospace is a technology ready level 7. So we've really been pushing this, but keeping this as secret as possible, as you can imagine.
I mean, it's another take, right? Today I had some guests providing hands. I had some guests providing some elements that can be used in humanoids. And here it is interesting and very nice that you said yes to this interview, to see another part of that, to see something that is not a humanoid, it's getting a direction, but it's also being a bridge, right? And really enabling people here and there.
That's right. The important thing to remember is that one of the big pushes for humanoids is looking at the actuator system. How light is it? How efficient is it? How is it delivered? Now, if we're looking at exoskeletons to provide all types of different solutions, not just for prevention, but also rehabilitation, it's all about that actuator and what's the minimal level of weight that goes on the body. So it's the same problem, but in a different format. So we're starting to see these overlaps where, really, when you consider wearable robotic structures to the humanoid structure, it's all very much within the same remit. It's an exciting time to be alive.
I think it's not the first time I hear this today. So this is it's nice to have so many people together that are working on common goals and sharing the vision, but sharing the excitement and the dynamics that comes with it. So
the thing that I'd just add to that is that I do an awful lot with the international standards committees, and what's important to really always keep in mind is that when we do this moving forwards, and we do it safely in the overall process. So we, as a company, we're not creating competitors. We're trying to create collaborators, and that's where working with ASTM, for example, that's where that comes from.
It was a pleasure having you. It was nice to see
me.
this from a different point of view. So thanks for giving us the insight, and looking forward to see you guys succeeding.
Thank you.
Then take care.
Yes, thank you.